everyone, Midnight Strike here, and I am going to be doing another request video, trying to get these out of the way a little bit, but also highly enjoying them. Really like hearing your guys' input, really finding and discovering some new music through these, so, I couldn't ask for some better fans. So, thank you very much for your suggestions. This one is requested by the Rocker213, who said, review your favorite Motley Crue album, and this is actually my favorite by far. It is Shout at the Devil, and it is pretty great, pretty decent, and it's a good second album for the band, especially one of those bands that are defining their success, basically defining and forming an identity after the raw and gritty feel production of their past album, Too Fast for Love. So, had a lot of hits on it, their past album, so, they're known for, at this point, hits like Too Fast for Love and Live Wire, as well as a couple other ones on here, and yeah, really good stuff, really awesome, and now they have more stuff here, especially one of their signature songs, Shout at the Devil, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review, a little bit of a track-by-track analysis and everything, because, well, I have the unreleased version which includes songs such as I Will Survive. So, I'm not really going to do an overview on the demos because, well, it's demos of already released songs, so there's really no point. They're actually pretty decent for what they are. So they got the raw quality, and they've got sort of the underproduced kind of feel to them. So it's like a garage band, basically like starting out for these demos. So that's really all you need to know about them. But they're really decent. So get started. This is a very good album, very sound, but I do have my issues with it, especially on the latter parts of the album, especially on songs such as 10 Seconds to Love, Helter Skelter, Danger, and even God Bless the Children of the Beast was kind of monotonous at times. But the overall feel of this album is very tight, very sound, and I have to say, they really put their all, they really gave it their all in this album, in this release. So, really sound vocals from Vince Neil, of course, really awesome riffs from Mick Mars, really awesome drumming, especially on songs like Bastard from Tommy Lee. So, and the band members, which is very odd for bands of the 1980s, they are all still alive, and they're all together for the band members. They're all still alive. They haven't like overdosed on anything, and I believe they're still performing. I think they were talking like a year ago about putting out an EP, but I am not sure of that at this moment. I know they put out a song called Sex a year ago, but it was an alright song, and, which is ironic because I found out about it through the Rocker213. Actually, that was, I believe, the first video of his I commented on, so he puts up a lot of cool stuff like that. Shout at the Devil, though, 1983, 30 years ago almost 30 years ago, because this album was actually released in the September of that year, 1983, so, yeah, it's basically, like I said, them forming an identity. This was probably one of their heavier albums, and it's a little bit more raw on the production, and Vince does more of like the falsetto style vocals, where he does the more high-pitched style vocals in turn, or in place of the vocals found on, say, Dr. Feelgood and Up. So, he really hits those high notes very well, and the solos are just right where they need to be. The drumming is absolutely awesome on this album, and there's really not much else I can say, but, in the beginning is sort of this eerie kind of Number of the Beast style intro, where it's basically just building up the tension, and, it's got that English-British style of voiceover, that's the word I was looking for, this English, British style voiceover, be strong, children, and shout at the devil, and then it just begins with those three chords that everyone knows from Shout at the Devil, and it just kicks off from there. This song is absolutely mind-blowing, one of my favorites by Motley Crue. Absolutely love the vocals. The production is perfect for this album. The solos and the rhythm is just absolutely where it needs to be. I actually found out about it through Guitar Hero 2. Isn't that sad? But then I found the original and absolutely love it. So, not much more to be said about that one. Looks That Kill, this is more of a this is actually a little bit faster than Shout at the Devil, and it's got a really great melody, and really kind of cliche-ish lyrics. She's got the looks that kill, but it's actually a pretty straightforward rock song. What else could you ask for in a hard rock song? You're not going to get freaking Trivium or Dragon Force or any of that, or thrash metal out of a hard rock song. Really good song, but cliche lyrics, which really isn't a bad thing, but oh well. Bastard, this one begins with an epic drum beat and an awesome sounding rhythm guitar, and it sounds awesome. It goes on from there. It's got a pretty straightforward riff, some pretty great catchy hooks, and just a really good song overall. Really sound structurally, really like the vocals and the riffs displayed on this song. So next one is God Bless the Children of the Beast. As I alluded to before, not really a big fan of this intro. I just think it kind of just looms on, like just kind of goes on without any sense of direction. Tripping over my own words here. Without any sense of direction. So then it leads into Helter Skelter, which is kind of a mess of a song. I mean, it's alright. It's one of their more popular songs, but I don't really see the appeal of it. I'm not really too big of a fan. It's got a good guitar solo, much like 10 Seconds to Love has a very good guitar solo, but it's just kind of all over the place. So didn't really like it. Red Hot, good song, good vocals, good guitar tone. Everything's pretty much where it needs to be on this song. Really like the structure of it. Too Young to Fall in Love. This is one of their most popular songs. It's featured on many video games, such as Grand Theft Auto Vice City, I believe. And really good song, really good melody, kind of slower paced, but still, you know, building up speed. It's like the perfect balance of a ballad and a rock song. So it's got that feel to it. I really like it. Knock 'Em Dead Kid. This one's like a little bit more of a faster paced kind of song. It's got a really good chorus, really good beat. It's got some groove to it too. So really like it. Again, you know, kind of on the lyrics. They're a little bit cheesy, but it's a really fun song to listen to. So let's see. Danger. This one, or no, 10 Seconds to Love is the next one. I'm sorry. 10 Seconds to Love. This one has a little bit more of like a sporadic kind of guitar rhythm kind of section, and I don't know, it just kind of like lingers on for a while without any sense of real direction. And it's kind of one of those straightforward songs, but it's just like the same riff. It's just throughout the entire thing, and it just gets a little bit repetitive, a little bit boring to listen to, but it's got a killer solo. I have to say that. This is a really good solo, great vocals and everything. And for some reason, I believe it's this song, but 10 Seconds to Love, well, in the first 10 seconds, he does some Dave Mustaine style vocals, which is really weird to hear out of Motley Crue. So, you know, first 7-8 seconds, something like that, he just does this kind of weird, like, growl kind of thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but it does sound a little bit like Dave Mustaine's old style vocals from the late 80s, early 90s. So that was interesting. Next one's Danger. It's good. I like the chorus. I like the guitar rhythm section and everything. The drumming's pretty good, but it just, again, it has the same problem. It suffers the same problem as 10 Seconds to Love, and it's got a good beat, it's got a good melody, but it lingers on for far too long, and it seems like it loses that sense of direction. So, good song overall. I wouldn't mind listening to it again. It's just not one of my favorite songs on the album. I do enjoy it. I do thoroughly enjoy it much better than 10 Seconds to Love, though. I think that's probably, along with Helter Skelter, my least favorites on the album. Not to say that they're bad by any means. They're just not my favorites. So the next three actually, are 3 demos of previously released songs, I believe, and then we come to I Will Survive. Some great vocals, some great hooks on this song, and it's got that raw kind of demo feel to it, like they didn't really finish it, but at the same time, it's really fun to listen to because it's just raw and out there, and just, it's awesome. It's really all I can say. And it's got some pretty catchy solos in it, so yeah, that's Shout at the Devil. Overall, I would probably rate this solid 8.5 out of 10, because it is a very good album. Not too big of a fan of Motley Crue, and they're one of those bands like Kiss where I like a lot of their music, just on different albums. This is probably one of my few albums where I actually enjoy the entire thing, versus just a few songs. This, Saints of Los Angeles, and you know, I really, as much as I like Dr. Feelgood, it just has too much filler on it for my taste. So, you know, I'm gonna go with Shout at the Devil, Saints of Los Angeles, and then Dr. Feelgood, just because, you know, it's got some really killer stuff on it, really killer production. So, but overall, of the 3, this is probably their rawest. Overall, I would probably say either their first debut album, Too Fast for Love, or Girls, Girls, Girls for their rawest album. Probably Girls, 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 because, you know, he's got that rasp. So, yeah, overall, 8.5 out of 10. Awesome album. Check it out. It's a classic. And, you know, really love the stuff on this album. Thank you very much for watching. This is Midnight Strike 3625. Hope you enjoyed my take on this. Thank you, The Rocker 213. This is Midnight Strike 3625. Keep calm and rock on.